If it was up to me, the fish would all be biting. The words would not need writing, they'd just fall out of my pen. If it was up to me, my bank account would have more zeros. I'd be friends with all my heroes, and they'd call me now and then. If it was up to me, I'd live out by the sea and order extra rum with every single drink. I'd let it in the waves and drown the memory. If it was up to me, if it was up to me, we'd all be driving 80. I'd be living like they paid me instead of working to get paid. If it was up to me, my mistakes would not outlive me, and everyone could just forgive me for all the ones I've made. If it was up to me, I'd have my own money tree, and I'd buy all the things that I don't really need. They'd help me not to think about how it used to be. If it was up to me. If it was up to me, the Stros would win the season, and I'd have every reason to go out and paint the town. If it was up to me, this life would be so easy. Everyone would aim to please me, and they'd never let me down. If it was up to me, I'd have no enemies, and I'd receive the grace I need without apology, and no one that I love would ever have to leave. If it was up to me, but it's not up to me. Thanks everybody, welcome to the Mucky Duck. I'm Hayes Carll, this is the Gulf Coast Orchestra. It's good to see y'all again. Well, I'm wild as a turkey, I'm higher than a Christmas moon, empty as my wallet on a Sunday afternoon. I come around too fast and I always leave too soon. Ain't that what they all say? I come down from Memphis with a broken down Corvette, a suitcase full of memories and a face you won't forget. You say you'll never love me, but tonight ain't over yet. Yeah, I'm gonna change your mind. Oh girl, I've been a gambler since the age of 21. I've seen my share of trouble and the wrong end of a gun, and this whole world's out to get me just because I have my fun. Yeah, but they ain't gonna slow me anyway. Right ain't right, babe, left ain't always wrong. I bet you're tired of dancing to the same old song. You look like an angel in a place you don't belong, and I'm gonna take you away. case is closed and that don't mean it's time for bed. Yeah, we don't need no sleep, girl, go get plenty when we're dead. You can leave these fools behind you now, come with me instead. Yeah, I'm gonna show you time. I'm wild as a turkey out in the Christmas moon. Empty as my wallet on a Sunday afternoon. I come around too fast and I always leave too soon. Ain't that what they all say? Oh, ain't that what they all say? All right. Thanks, everybody. All right, it's sure good to see y'all. I have a record coming out in 4 days, 5 days. What's today? The 20.
A week from today.
A week from today, 7 days, whatever. Time really doesn't matter anymore, does it? On the 29th, I've got a record coming out, but it just so happens that I brought copies with me here tonight. So I'm very excited about sharing that with y'all. If you would like, we got everything back for sale back there, and we got vinyl and CDs. I don't know any people still listen to CDs. If you do, we got okay. Thank you. We got one. We got one for you. My last record, I bought a couple thousand CDs to sell and take out on tour, and 2 years later, I still have a couple thousand CDs, and like 1,980 CDs. So I'm excited to hear that you are into that. All right, I'm gonna play a few of the songs off this record for you. So just give you, I'm not gonna expect you to just buy it sight unseen. I'm gonna play some of the songs, and if you like it, then you can investigate further. But this is a title track. It's called "You Get It All." A little bit of a boom there. All my tame and all my wild, all my man and all my child, all my faults and all my scars, all my sometimes lucky stars, all my joys and my regrets, all my old Guy Clark cassettes. I knew the night we met, you get it all. All my lows and all my highs, all my truth and all my lies, all my rights and all my wrongs, all my fun now on love songs, all my future, all my roots, all my worn out cowboy boots. I kick off in the hall, you get it all. And I'd rather drive you crazy, being more than you can stand, than let you try to love half a man. And all my cards are on the table, and darling, it's your call. But I'm all in, so lose or win, you get it all. Texas dust, all my humble, all my bragging, all my on and off the wagon, all my be your place to hide, all my always on your side, all my catch you when you fall, you get it on. And I'd rather drive you crazy, being more than you can stand, than let you try to love half a man. Table, and darling, it's your call. But I'm all in, so lose or win, you get it all. All my blessing, all my curse, all my better, all my worse, from the chapel to the hearse, you get it all. Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, like a lot of folks, during this pandemic, well, first of all, the pandemic was the first time in my adult life that I was not on the road touring, or for an extended period of time, and like a lot of folks, I took that opportunity to adopt a pet. I got a dog. I went down to the rescue, and I said I would like a dog. Specifically a good dog. I want a good dog. They said, oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. And they very quickly handed me a puppy. And I said, what is it? And they said, it's a lab. And I said, well, okay, that seems like a good dog. And I took her home and I named her Winnie. And Winnie's very cute and very sweet. I don't know if y'all remember that. I think it was a Dr. Seuss book where the kid gets a goldfish, but he's told very specific instructions to not overfeed the fish. And he doesn't listen, and the fish grows rapidly. And after the first couple of days, he has to go from the bowl to the sink and to hold him. And then after that, he has to get moved to the bathtub. And then after that, he has to get moved into the swimming pool. And I don't remember what happens after that, but it's a big damn fish is the point. And that's kind of what happened with my dog. She just kept growing and growing. And at a certain point, the veterinarian said, I don't think this is a lab. And so we didn't know what it was, so we went and got one of those 23andMe tests for dogs and got the results back. And it turned out that her mother, Winnie's mother, is a Great Dane. And her father is an even greater Dane. Winnie is a big girl. We have a lot of body positivity talks around the house. But it's great. She's sweet. She's a sweet, loving dog. She just eats everything. She ate the couch, the nice sofa. She eats the legs on the tables and the chairs. She ate a blanket that this fella named Hermes gave my wife. Yeah, that one hurt apparently. And this summer, my wife grew white peonies for the first time. That's her favorite flower, and she'd been trying unsuccessfully for a couple years to grow them. And this year, she actually succeeded, and they bloomed, and they were beautiful, and we were all very happy. But I knew that my dog would try to eat these flowers, so I was proactive, and I went up and I put a barbed wire fence like around the flowers, like a little prison for the flower to protect it. And it didn't work. The dog ate through the fence and tore apart the flower. And I walked outside one early morning, and I saw that this had happened, and my wife followed right behind me. And she saw that it happened, and she took the fence, and by this point I had run, and I was on the other side of the yard, and she took the fencing and threw it after me and said, "This is why we can't have nice things." Which inspired this song here. Well, God came down to earth to enjoy what she created. Took a fishing trip to Georgia to see what she could see. And cast out a hole in line and thought she'd hook a big one, reeled in an oil barrel and said, "Oh my me, this is why your whole world is on fire. This is why you can't drink from your own springs. This is why, this is why, this is why, this is why y'all can't have nice things." So she walked back to the highway, flagged down a passing stranger, an old man with a kind streak who offered her a toke. And just as she was partaking, the blue light started flashing. As he slipped the handcuffs on her, she thought this must be a joke. And this is why y'all are all strung out to Christmas. This is why I left you all them seeds. This is why, this is why, this is why, this is why y'all can't have nice things. So she walked out of the jail with the rap sheet and no money. Went looking for coffee and passed by an angry mob. They were yelling about people who should suffer pain eternal. She asked one for $1. They said, sinner, get a job. This is why I blessed you with compassion. This is why I gave you empathy. This is why I said love your neighbor. This is why bills don't grow on trees. This is why I blessed you with salvation. This is why angels lose their wings. This is why, this is why, this is why. This is why y'all can't have nice things. Oh, this is why y'all can't have nice things. It rains all day in the desert, and Elvis is alive. A circle's got 4 corners, and 2 plus 2 is 5. I've never been hungover, and there ain't no fish in the sea. And she'll come back to me. Oh, well, a guitar don't make music, and a bumblebee won't sting. It works if you don't use it, and Dolly just can't sing. But don't go to church on Sundays, and freedom it comes free. And she'll come back to me. Yeah, I heard her say I do, but just because one says a thing, that don't make it true. Now I'm sitting here by my lonesome, sad as a man can be, praying she'll come back to me. Well, the clock don't tick and time stands still. Monkey is a man's best friend. It's easier pushing that rock uphill. There's no such thing as sin. Mamas don't love their babies, and money grows on trees. And she'll come back to me. Just because one says a thing that don't make it true. Now I'm sitting here by my lonesome, sad as a man can be, a praying she'll come back to me. Oh, a praying she'll come back to me. All right, thank you. This is Jared Reynolds over here on the tiny bass. Over here on the drums and percussion. Times are hard, people. You may have noticed, you may be looking up here and going, that doesn't look like a regular band. We used to be a band. We used to have all the gear, all the equipment. And now we have a teeny tiny bass, and then Mike's got one snare kit and some bottle caps, some Topo Chico and a Scrabble board game. Spoons. He'd like cleaned out his mom's kitchen to get the stuff to be on stage here tonight. He's got a broom. On the percussion from Austin, Texas, Mr. Mike Meadows. And then over here on the electric guitar, he managed to get his instrument out of hock. Interesting story. A lot of people, Travis over here is one of those people that will make you feel bad about yourself and not in like an intentional way, but what I mean is, like a lot of times, like some people took this last year and a half and just completely fell apart and nothing good happened and they didn't do anything, and I can relate to that. And there's some people who did amazing things and made a lot of progress and did a lot of good. So for instance, before the pandemic, Travis had never played guitar. And look at him now. YouTube in a couple hours and look. I'll do a song here that is about dementia or Alzheimer's or anybody that's struggling with that in their life or has lost the thread to their own story. And it's for those people and the people that are their caregivers and look after them. And it's called Help Me Remember. The leaves on that ancient old oak tree are starting to turn. The same shades as the flames of this fire that I'm watching burn. There's an unfinished crossword resting in the arm of this chair. And for the life of me, I can't recall if I'm the one who left it there. It feels so familiar as I watch you walk in the room. And at first I don't recognize you, but then I damn sure recognize that perfume. You kneel down beside me and gently take hold of my hand. I say, baby, I'm scared and I'm not sure I know who I am. And can you help me remember who it is that I used to be? Well, you tell me the story of my family, my hopes and my dreams. And did I try to stand for something? Or would I always fold? Did I do things when I was young to be proud of when I was old? Was I a house on fire? Or was I just a slow burning ember? Could you please help me remember? This ring on my finger is gold, faded worn, like it was forged in the fires of love, it's weathered the storms. And I try to make sense of these old photographs on the wall, but they're just faces and places that I don't know at all. Can you help me remember? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I know there's a story, but it's getting harder to find. Did I ever protect my children? Did I give a damn? Was I believe in God and His plan? Did I light up your life like a full moonlit night in December? Could you please help me remember? I need you to help me remember. Yeah, thank you. Need somebody to help me remember the lyrics to that. I forgot part of it. Sorry. Which seems like a great time to mention that we're recording the show, and you can take that home with you as well. Joshua over there is recording it, and so that was a one-of-a-kind, unique version where I left out a few lines. It's like the Billy Ripken error card. You can't get it anywhere else but here tonight. All right. Well, it's great to be back at the Mucky Duck. This has been my second home for a long time. And I was very bummed out to look online yesterday and see that they were robbed 2 days ago. I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but somebody smashed the window, stole the sound system, and stole all the lights and some of the computers, and just a heinous act. And but I'm very happy to see that the Duck has a lot of well-earned friends and goodwill in the community, and a lot of people stepped up and helped replace some of this stuff in really short order. So it's awesome. Do a song here about a bar out in Austin called La La's. I used to hang out there a bit. It's got Christmas lights up year round and a jukebox in the corner with nothing on it past 1968. I asked around what the story was. I was curious. And what I heard was unfortunately a tragic one. It was that Lala had a son who had gone off to fight in Vietnam at Christmas time. And she promised she wouldn't take the lights down until he made it back home. And all these years later, they're still hanging up there. So this is about that place and those people. It's called Jesus and Elvis. Jesus and Elvis, painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. Lola built this joint in '67, and her boy went off to fight on Christmas Eve. In a war nobody won, she lost her only son. Now everything he loved is what you see. Jesus and Elvis painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. Lola told him Jesus loves a sinner, and his daddy told him music saved his soul. Between the drunkards and the band, it's a fitting promised land for the King of Kings and the King of rock and roll. Jesus and Elvis painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. All right. So if you need a shot of Dickel or redemption, or where the Delta meets the Sea of Galilee, and get washed in the blood of the Mississippi mud, come all you non-believers and you'll see Jesus and Elvis painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. By and by, Lord, by and by, by and by, Lord, by and by. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, that leads me. I'm gonna do a song. I don't play it a whole lot these days. It felt like maybe it got taken the wrong way. Misinterpreted. It's a song about a case of mistaken identity, and when I do play it, I always preface it with a quote from Ray Wiley Hubbard. The first time I played it for him, he said, "Hayes, the problem with irony is not everybody gets it." I found this to be very true. I hope y'all get it. We've been dating since high school. We never once left this town. We used to go out on the weekends. We drink till we drown. But now she's acting funny, and I don't understand. Well, I think that she's found some other man. She left me for Jesus, and that just ain't fair. She says that he's perfect. How could I compare? She says I should find him, and I'll know peace at last. But if I ever find Jesus, I'm kicking his ass. That's what I thought. It was a test. She showed me a picture. All I could do was stare at that freak in his sandals, oh, with his long, pretty hair. They must think that I'm stupid, oh, that I don't have a clue. Well, I bet he's a commie, or probably even a Jew. She left me for Jesus, and that just ain't fair. She says that he's perfect, how could I compare? She says I should find him, and I know peace at last. But if I ever find Jesus, I'm a kicking his ass. She's giving up a whiskey, let's see where your priorities are now. She's giving up a whiskey, and she's taking up wine. She prays for his troubles, has forgotten all about mine. But it's okay, I'm gonna get even. I can't handle the shame. Oh, why the last time we made love, she even called out his name. She left me for Jesus, and that just ain't fair. She says that he's perfect, how could I compare? She says I should find him, and I know peace at last. But if I ever find Jesus, I'm a kicking his ass. And it could have been Carlos, or even Billy or Ted. But if I ever find Jesus, he's gonna wish he were dead. Oh, man. Well, I asked you where you'd been, and you said none yet. None of your business, don't you ask no more. You said if you would do a better job of listening, then maybe you would understand why I'm at the door. You just had to paint the front porch ceiling turquoise. You said that's the way we do it in the South. You claimed it keeps out all the evil spirits. Sometimes I can't believe the words are coming out your mouth, but I try because I want to. I know your heart the best way that I can. Through the laughter and the pain, and sometimes just insane. Girl, all I wanna do is be your man. Sometimes we'll pretend like we are strangers out there meeting up for the first time. And I'll be a doctor or a secret agent, just hoping that you'll laugh with me as I throw out my lines. And I used to tell myself that I had it covered, that everything was where it needs to be. But then you showed up and you looked me over, and now I see, oh I see, now I see, darling I see. And so I try, because I need to. I know your heart the best way that I can. For the laughter, for the pain, or for the way you call my name. Girl, all I wanna do is be your man. I asked you where you'd been, and you said none yet. None of your business, don't you ask no more. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's good to see some familiar faces here. Walt and Julia, I feel like it was just yesterday. It was just yesterday. I saw you down the Woodlands, which this makes 171 shows that Walt and Julia here have attended. My parents were at the show last night, and it was only the 53rd show that they had been to. And you'll notice they're not here tonight. So, replacement parents, thank you guys. Love y'all. Is there anything y'all would like to hear? Oh, I'm specifically asking the people. When you've been to over 100 shows, then you get to shout out requests. Sorry, I should have been clear. Wild pointy finger. Okay, all right. I like that. It took me a second. I was like, what's wrong with him? And then I realized he was, yeah. Wild pointy finger, it wags and it wiggles. It's always serious, it never giggles. And even when the rest of me is trying to get some sleep, my wild pointy finger is out on the creep. I got a pointy finger. Points at the theater and accomplishments of man. It points at all the problems that it don't understand. It points at Parisians across the sea. It points at anybody who thinks different than me. If you're marching to your own drum or kneeling in the news, my wild pointed finger's probably pointing right at you. I got a pointed finger. I got a pointed finger. I bought a black glove just to keep it hidden. I figured pointy finger wouldn't know what it's missing. I went for a walk on a crowded street. It just kept a pointing at everybody it meets. Hey, if I had a finger sitter, I'd leave him at home. But my wild pointy finger's got a mind of his own. I got a digits like most other people. I can build a church, but I can't hold a steeple. And none of them stand up and do exactly what I say. But the one by the thumb, it just points all day. I can't be a poet, and I can't be a star. I've got no eye for beauty, and I never learned guitar. You'll just be disappointed if you're waiting around to see, 'cause my wild pointed fingers never pointing back at me. I got a wild pointed finger. I got a wild pointed finger. I got a wild pointed finger. All right. The Wild Pointed Finger, the dance sensation that's sweeping the nation. Check it out, y'all. I had high hopes for that song. It was the only song I'd ever written where I thought there's a dance that goes to this. You don't even have to have legs to use it. You can just point your finger around. Never took off. I saw you leaning on a memory with your back turned to the crowd in that little bar on Murphy where they play guitar too loud. There were people drinking whiskey and there were hearts about to leave. It was cold as hell for Houston. It was almost New Year's Eve. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand. I could not wait forever, babe. I hope you'll understand. Ah, the night was feeling lucky, so I asked you to dance. And the way you looked up at me made me think I had a chance. But when I put my arms around you, I knew you weren't giving in. And I hope it will be different if I pass this way again. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand. I could not wait forever, babe. I hope you'll understand. Well, I walked the road to get here with a guitar in a case. And I'd have stopped in Pasadena if I'd have known about this place. But you looked like forever where the water meets the shore. I've been thinking about you, baby. I can't do that anymore. I saw you leaning on a memory with your back turned to the crowd in that little bar on Murphy where they play guitar too loud. There were people drinking whiskey, and there were hearts about to leave. It was cold as hell for Houston. It was almost New Year's Eve. All the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand. I could not wait forever, babe. I hope you'll understand. Yeah, all the way from Beaumont with a white rose in my hand. I could not wait forever, babe. I hope you'll understand. Thank y'all. That song's called Beaumont. It's inspired sort of by Beaumont. I over-romanticized it a bit. We're heading there tomorrow. Actually, kind of. We're heading to Kuntz. I think that's how you pronounce it. Texas for a festival, and a buddy of mine named Donnie Corville's throwing a festival, and the proceeds is a benefit for wounded veterans, and we're real honored to be playing it. And Donnie and his brother Big Rich are two good guys, and been friends for a long time, and they turned me on to something a while back that was really blew my mind. They have this buddy. Well, there's an invention created by a guy out there, and around Beaumont area called the mullet launcher. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it. Do we have any fishermen here? Okay, a couple. All right, so a mullet is like a small bait fish, and so sometimes the one issue with fishing from the shore is getting your line out far enough to get to the bigger fish, getting the deeper water. And so this guy came up with this brilliant invention called the mullet launcher, where you have like a cylindrical tube, and as opposed to a rectangular tube. I don't get paid to talk. And you fill it up with water, and then you put a line with the mullet on it and a hook, and then you freeze it, and it becomes like this missile. It's a frozen fish missile that you can then shoot out into the bay, and it can go like a pretty good distance, and you can get out to the deeper fish. And to me, this is genius. I'm just amazed that people think of this stuff. But my friends, Donnie and Big Rich, they have a buddy who looked at this thing and said, "We can do better." And he was an engineer, and he got together with some buddies, and they created the Mullet Launcher 2.0, which was sort of the same premise. They just used better materials, and like they widened the circumference and realized they could get more propulsion, and they put it all together in a shop, and they took it out and they launched it for the first time 4 miles. It shoots this fish 4 miles out into the... It's unbelievable. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. I just find it incredible. You know, a lot of people worry about like the Russians and the Chinese and all this shit, and I'm not worried about that. You know, we got mullet launchers all up and down the southeast coast of Texas. We're good. Only downside that I can think of is, you know, one day there's going to be like some hippie in a kayak out in the bay, just minding his own business. Whatever happened to Tim? Anyways, that's where we'll be tomorrow night. Home of the mullet launcher. I'll play another song for you. Well, when my mama had me, she should have had 2 or 3. No, I can't help what all them women keep saying about me. They wanna parade me all over town. Well, when I pick one up, I let another one down. There ain't enough of me to go around. Well, now the way I'm looking, you know you'll have to wait your turn. You ain't the only girl that knows I got sugar to burn. They can't believe just what they found. They take one good look and then their britches fall down. There ain't enough of me to go around. dancing, but I already got plans at 10. Well, you can call my secretary, and maybe we could squeeze you in. Or I'll take you a picture and hang it right over your bed. If you can't love me, you can love my picture instead. They wanna just chase, stalk, and run me around. I ought to do them all a favor, just sell me by the pound. There ain't enough of me to go around. Had me, she should have had 2 or 3.
Yes, she should have. Yes, she should have.
Oh, I can't help what all them women keep saying about me.
What all these women keep saying about me.
They wanna parade me all over town. Well, when I pick one up, I let another one down. There ain't enough of me to go around. To go around. All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's the Ego Brothers. Most of y'all probably know who we are. Ego Brothers is a band that I created with my good buddy John Evans. The premise of our band is that we write only songs about how wonderful we are. For about 14 years, that was the only one we had. But we did eventually come up with some other stuff. We got One Night with Me. We got Something Smells Good in Here. Must be me. Travis's favorite is I Autographed My Own Guitar. We got The Luckiest Mirror in the World. We got a new one called Hey Girl, My Eyes Are Up Here. And we recently invited our Canadian friend Cor Blund to join the band. We thought he would make a good addition. And he paid immediate dividends. He came up with a new song. I'm just going to play a piece of it for you here. Well, I wonder what all the ugly people are doing tonight. God, I worry so. Yes, I wonder what all the ugly people are doing tonight. Well, I guess we'll never know. Solid gold, I tell you. Well, speaking of John, I'm going to do a song that he wrote with our buddy Adam Carroll, and I put on my second record, and it's one of my favorites. It's called Take Me Away. rain beating down on a midnight moon. Oh baby, I'll be leaving soon. Take me away. The winds are howling like an old freight train. Oh baby's on the winds of change. Take me away. 'Cause I've been sitting on the front porch watching the world go round. Through the eyes of a fool, the head like a rock, my whole world tumbling down. Rain beating down on a midnight moon. Oh baby, I'll be leaving soon. Take me away. Grass around your ankles and the field before the flood. You rough cut diamond in the Mississippi mud. Take me away. Well, I'm a two-time loser with my guitar and my gun. You're a mover and a shaker and a lover in the sun. Take me away. 'Cause I've been sitting on the front porch watching the world go round. Through the eyes of a fool, they head like a rock, and my whole world's tumbling down. Rain beating down on a midnight moon. Oh baby, I'll be leaving soon. Take me away. Take me away. It's no eternal mystery, you don't need a hard-earned clue. Why some men do their damnedest when half a damn would do. There's a lifetime in the distance and it's filled with love and gold, and I will find it yet if I may be so bold. Yeah, some men do the conqueror and some men do the will, and some will do most anything to hide the way they feel. And some like giving orders and some like to be told, but I will make my way if I may be so bold. Bold enough to make a difference, bold enough to say I care, bold enough to keep on trying even when the will's not there. There's a whole world out there waiting, full of stories to be told, and I either call and tell them all if I may be so bold. The boys are emptying their glasses, there's a true believer's will. But what I guess these days passes for a good time or a thrill. And they're trying hard to convince you, but I don't believe you're sold. So I'm gonna step right up, if I may be so bold. Bold enough to make a difference, bold enough to say I care, bold enough to keep on trying even when the game's not fair. There's a whole world out there waiting, full of dreams that can't be sold, and I heed the call and live them all, if I may be so bold. Stumbled around these country towns and swallowed up the sea. I've wrestled with the question of just who I aim to be. I've been dealt hands I had to laugh at, and some hands I'd love to fold, but I will play them all, if I may be so bold. Bold enough to not surrender, bold enough to give a damn, bold enough to keep on moving or to stay right where I am. There's a whole world out there waiting, full of stories to be told, and I heed the call and tell them all, if I may be so bold. Yeah, I tell them all, if I may be so bold. Oh, thank you, everybody. This is funny. It's my 8th record, and I guess it's not officially a release because the release isn't until another week. But it's my 8th time to come through and play a place with a new record. Play this place with a new record, and the first time was in 2002. I had a record called Flowers and Liquor, and before that came out, I had gotten pulled over. In Crystal Beach, Texas, the Bolivar Peninsula. There's a road called Highway 87 that runs through there, and I'm not going to get into the details of why I was pulled over, but either way, anyway, it happened, and I sort of forgot about it, and then I put out this record, and I came here to the Monkey Duck, and I played my first record release show in 2002. And I still remember there were 56 tickets sold, and we sold like, 25 copies of the CD. And anyway, I made a small fortune that night, the most money I'd ever made playing music. It ended up being like $500 worth of money, and I was over the moon. I mean, it was just probably 4 years earlier that I had made my first dollar playing music. And I remember, I'm sorry, this is going to take me a minute, but I had a girlfriend in college who had a band, and they had a weekly gig at this cafe called the Breakaway Cafe. And one week they couldn't make it, and they asked if I would fill in, and I did, and that was my first show. And I didn't get paid at first, like there was just an opportunity to play. But I remember the next day, the drummer from that band showed up at the library where I was on campus, and I was in college, and he handed me a $5 bill, and he said, "Here's your cut from last night." And I tell you what, it was the most excited. I don't get super excited about things, but the first time somebody gave me money for doing the thing I love, it was an incredible feeling. And so fast forward 4 years later, and I put out a record. And I'm playing at the Monkey Duck, and I do really well. And I drive back to Galveston, and I get home, and I spread this money out on the table. It was all cash, and they used to give $2 bills. I don't know if they still do that now, but they used to pay you in $2 bills, which was really cool. And so I had I don't know, $500 out, and I spread it all out, and then I went to bed. I'd never had that much money in my life, and the next morning at like 8 a.m., I hear a knock on the door, a bang on the door. And I open it, I'm in my underwear, and I open the door, and it's a Galveston County constable. And he says, "All right, boy, put your pants on, we're going to jail." I said, "No." Internally, I said no. And I didn't say that to him. I just was like, why? What's the deal? And he said, well, we've got an outstanding warrant for your arrest. And unless you have about $450, you're going to jail. And I looked back at all that money just lying there on the table. And I said, all right. So we packed it up. And he took me to the 7-Eleven to get a cashier's check, which I wrote to the Galveston Police Department. So that money was short-lived. But anyway, it's all these years later, here we are, and I'm incredibly grateful to get to play music for a living, and to you guys for paying all this money to come out here and support live music and let us do what we love to do. Thank you. Well, I said Highway 87, that's one dangerous place to be. Oh, when you're pissed off all the local boys and your back's against the sea, and the cops all know your number, the bars all know your name. After 6 straight months of drinking, boy, you're never gonna be the same. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't remember when. I may not know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Well, that sheriff, he just watches every move I make. And one of these days he's gonna arrest me for all the time I take. And the local girls all act like I just ain't their kind. I'm painting on their precious nails, losing their sweet minds. And I'd give half of Texas if I could find a friend. I may not know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Well, the coast is disappearing as they line up on the beach. They're doing all them little things that Sunday school don't teach. There's Jim Beam by the fire, cocaine in the stash, a baseball bat on the floorboard, shotgun on the dash. And you might lose your mind, go walking around the bend. You may not know where you're going, but you sure know where you've been. That's one dangerous place to be. When you're pissed off all the local boys and your back's against the sea. And the cops all know your number, the bars all know your name. After 6 straight months of drinking, boy, you're never gonna be the same. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't remember when. I may not know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. All right. Thank you, everybody. This is probably the point where we might walk off stage and hope you liked us enough to bring us back, but I can't get a real good feel for the room, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to stay up here for a couple more, and then we're going to call. We got another show after this one, so we got to call it at some point. But thank you very much for being here and letting us do what we love to do. Really appreciate you. And here's to the Mucky Duck. Again, I don't know how many years you guys have been open, and I'm really sorry to hear about what happened this week. But I know some folks are streaming this at home and are contributing to the show through that way. Just whatever happens, whatever people give at home during this show, we're going to give to the Duck here to kind of to help with some of their losses. And maybe I should wait and see how much it is before I declare that. I'm just kidding. So yeah. All right, and like I said, we recorded the show tonight. You can pick that up outside, or if you'd like, and we also have a brand new vinyl and CDs, T-shirts, and all that kind of good stuff. And we'd really appreciate it if you pick one up or just spread the word. I'm gonna do another song or two from that record, and this is one I don't think we've ever played as a band. See if we can remember it. In the meantime. Good times we've had, the smiles and the laughs are the pictures that fill up these frames and hang in the halls and cover the walls of the home where we spend our days. And most times, those good times are the times that we're in. And even the tough times we'd walk through again. But in the meantime, the holler and scream till the crush all your dreams time. They can't hardly breathe time when faith gets forgotten and hope falls behind. The love that we had turns bitter and bad. In the meantime, we've been through some years, some heartaches, some tears, and some struggles like all people do. We held on by a thread to the vows that we said, and somehow we're still true blue. At yesterday's end, we were still friends. Tomorrow might find us right back there again. But in the meantime, the holler and scream time, the crush all your dreams time, that can't hardly be time when faith gets forgotten and hope falls behind. The love that we had turns bitter and bad. In the meantime, Lord, help us outrun the damage we've done. In the meantime, in the meantime, Thank y'all. That song, Brandy Clark sings with me on the record. And all right, we'll do just a couple more and we'll get out of your hair here. Let's boy, and some cigarettes. I'm gonna climb into this old truck and get as far as I can get. Go looking for a motel room, one with an actual key, the old kind I used to find where you pay by the week. Gonna hang a couple pictures up of that rotary phone. Yeah, the one on which I'm not expecting too many calls from. I'm gonna find me a movie, one that makes me laugh. Roll around that old TV so I can watch it in the bath. I can't remember where I had my breakfast. Probably some old rundown diner in a backwoods border town. Yeah, but I ain't ever going back to Texas. I'll pay the cost of being lost just to keep on being found. I really like my lawyer. He's a hell of a guy. He spreads the love and he ain't above watching a grown man cry. I don't have to worry about whose side he's on. He'll be my friend until the end, until the money's all gone. I can't remember where I had my breakfast. Southeast Oklahoma or some backwoods Arky town. Yeah, but I ain't ever going back to Texas. There's a girl down there in Texas who does not want me around. Yeah, I ain't ever going back to Texas. I'll pay the cost of being lost just to keep on being found. I'll pay the cost of being lost just to keep on being found. Now I've got a woman, she's wild as Rome. She likes to lie naked and be kissed upon. She crosses a bridge and sets it on fire, and it lands like a bird on a telephone wire. A wine bottle scattered like last night's clothes. Cigarettes, papers, and dominoes. She laughs for a minute by the shape I'm in. She says, you be the sinner, honey, I'll be the sin. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna give me some mescaline. She brings me roses and a place to lay, a drunken poet's dream. Now I believe my harp's got a busted reed. My lips are chapped and about to bleed. She tastes like pills and cheap cologne. And she tells me I don't ever have to drink alone. Now there's some money on the table and a pistol on the floor. A few paperback books by Louis L'Amour. She says, honey, don't you worry about Judgment Day. All these people going to heaven, they're just in our way. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna give me some mescaline. She brings me roses and a place to lay. A drunken poet's dream. And so all my life I laid around while the colors all turn blue. Oh well, I closed my eyes and finally found it brought me back to you. Now I got a woman, she's wild as wrong. She likes to lie naked and be kissed upon. She crosses a bridge and sets it on fire, and then lands like a bird on a telephone wire. I'm gonna holler and I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna give me some mescaline. She brings me roses and a place to lay. And I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna give me some mescaline. She brings me roses and a place to lay. A drunken poet's dream. A drunken poet. Thank you, Houston. We appreciate y'all. I hope you had a good time. Take care.